Hello everyone. So now I'm going to discuss the topic for matrices, and the question is about elementary row operations. Okay, so now we are going to discuss the rules. The way number one is interchange the two row. So the way of writing will be R1 interchange, okay, interchange R2, meaning that row 1 and row 2 we have to interchange. Rule number 2, multiply one row by a non-zero scalar k. So the way of writing will be k multiply with r1 or k multiply with r2 or k multiply with r3. So rules number 3 will be adding one row with k times of another row. So the way I'm writing is R2 plus k R1 or R3 plus k R1. So now we are going to use the rules that has been given in 1, 2, 3 to discuss for an example. So now we are going to use the rules that we have in the ERO or elementary row operation to solve a problem, that is to find the inverse of a P. So in here, given that the matrix P, and we are going to find the inverse of P. So the way of using the ERO, first step we have to write in this form. So now our objective is to convert the left hand side, okay, everything into the identity. Okay, so the product on the right hand side, which is this part, that will be our inverse of P. So now I'm going to convert, or I'm going to change for the left hand side a matrix P into identity matrix. So the following will be my step of solving the problems. So my target will be A11, I'm going to change or convert into 1, followed by next step will be A21, then will be A31. Step number 4 will be A22, which I'm going to change it to 1. Then for the step number 5 and 6, actually is the same, which is number 5. This one also number 5. I'm going to do it at the same time, okay, to convert them or change them into 0. Step number 6 will be A33. I'm going to change it into 1. And step number 7 will be A13 and A23. So that is the process of using the ERO to find the inverse of matrix P. So now I'm going to find the inverse of P. So I'm going to begin with the step 1, so which is going to convert, okay, step number 1, I'm going to change the 2 become 1. So I'm going to use the rules number 2, okay, multiply one row by a non-zero scalar k. So the blue color one is the one I'm copying, meaning that it won't change. So now I'm going to process how to make sure the 2 become 1. So it's to multiply a scalar. So I'm going to multiply 1 over 2, okay, with row 1. That is the way of writing. So my answer will be 1 if I multiply with 1 over 2, okay. And next one will be 1 as well. Then followed by negative 3 over 2, 1 over 2, 0 and 0. That will be my step number 1. So now I'm going to proceed to step number 2. And how to convert it become 0. So we are going to use the rules number 3, adding one row with k times of another row. So in here, first I'm going to copy down. Those won't change. So the thing won't change is row number 1. So I'm going to copy 1, 1, negative 3 over 2, 1 over 2, 0 and 0. So you have to refer to this matrix. Okay, copy. So negative 3, 0 and 3, 0, 0, 1. So those blue colors one are not going to change. So I just left blank for the second row because I'm going to convert them for the 2 to become 0. So we have to use the third rules. Okay, so how to write, okay, or how to make it become 0. So here is the example. 2 multiply k r1. Okay, k r1. So actually your 2 is equals to r2, right? Multiply any value k, okay, with r1. So in here our r1 is 1. So what we have to do is r2 minus 2 r1. Okay or not? So with the help of the calculator, okay, with the help of the calculator, so that we can reduce our burden. So now we have to key in the function into the calculator. So let me show you where's the calculator first. Okay, so now refers to the calculator, press the button mode and then choose number 1, compute, because now we are going to do some calculation only. Okay, so in here we already have our formula, r2 minus 2 r1. So now I'm going to reduce your burden, okay, in your cognitive. So I'm going to use the calculator to help us to solve the problem, I mean the calculation. So now we can name it as x minus 2y. So now we are going to key in, okay, so alpha x minus 2 alpha y. Okay, so now you have to follow the orders. So in R2 is a x, R1, okay, is a y. So follow the sequence, press the button calculate. Question will ask you, the calculator will ask you, what is your value x? So in here, now we are going to find the answer, okay, for A21. So the value is 2, right, for R2. So you have to press the button 2. Then you press the button equals. So the question asks, what is your y? Y is equals to R1. What is your R1? So my R1 is 1. Okay, my R1 is 1. So I'm going to press 1. Then press equal. So my product will be 0. So now I'm going to key in or write down 0. Next step, again, press the button calculate. So the question asking you the same thing. What is your R2? So in here, my R2 is equals to negative 1. So key in negative 1. So again, they ask you, what is your R1? So in here, my R1 is equals to 1. So I'm going to key in 1 and then press equal. So automatically, they show you the answer. The value is negative 3. Repeat the same process by pressing calculate. Now, what is your R2? So in here, what is your R2? My R2 is equals to 0. So kindly key in 0, press equal. Here they are asking, what is your R1? So in here, what is your R1? Negative 3 over 2 or negative 1.5? Negative 3 over 2. Press the button equals. So you will have the value 3. Again, proceed. Press the button calculate. Okay, repeat the same thing. What is your R2 in here? My R2 is equals to 0. So I'm going to key in 0. Press the button equal. They ask you again, what is your R1 in this column? So my R1 is 1 over 2, or we can say 0 0.5. Press the button equal. So they show you the answer, negative 1. Again, repeat the same thing, pressing the button calculate. They're asking you, what is your R2 in here? So my R2 is equals to 1. So press the button 1, then key in. What is your R1? So in here, my R1 is 0. Press the button 0, then press equal. So my answer is equals to 1. Then repeat the same thing. So what is your R1? What is your R2? Your R2 equals to 0. Then what is your R1? Your R1 also equals to 0. So my answer will be equals to 0. So that is the step by using the calculator to help us to find the answer for row 2. So now we are going to focus the row 3. Okay, we are going to change it become 0. Okay, row 3. So now we have to relate to row 1. So what is the formula? The formula will be R3, okay, R3, okay, we have to relate to R1. So R3 is a negative 3, so here we have to plus 3. Okay, here will be our formula. So as usual, the blue color one is the row that won't change. So the third row I'm going to left behind so that I can key in the value later on. So now what we have to do is, with the help of the calculator again, okay, so we have to key in the formula. So in this part, R3 actually is x plus 3 R1, which is equals to y. Okay, so now we are going to key in plus 3y. Okay, so press the button calculate. Okay, question asks you, what is your x? So our x is equals to negative 3. Okay, and then followed by what is your R1? Your R1 is equals to 1. Press the button. So they show you the answer 0. Okay, next we have to repeat again. What is your R3 in the second column, which is equals to 0? Okay, what is your R1 in the second column? My answer is 1. So here we have the answer 3. So you repeat the same thing. Calculate what is your R3 in the third column. So the answer is 3. What is your R1 in the third column? The answer is negative 3 over 2. So press the button. So my answer is negative 3 over 2. Again, what is the value for R3 for the third column and for the fourth column? So the answer is 0, followed by 1 over 2. So we have 3 over 2. Next, calculate. We have 0 and 0. So my answer will be 0. And then calculate 1. The value for R1 is 0. Okay, so my answer is equals to 1. So now we already get it done for the third row. So now we are going to proceed with the second column. Okay, second column for the second row. So now this is our target. Okay, step number 4. We are going to change it or convert it become 1. So by using the rules, the second rules, which is multiply one row by a non-zero scalar k. So in here we will name it as R2. Okay, so we are going to multiply a k, so it become 1. So now look at here is negative 1 over 3. Okay, negative 1 over 3. So it will be my k value. So again, we have to substitute or we have to key in the calculator. Okay, so by pressing the value negative 1 over 3 x. So here we have negative 1 over 3 and then x. Press the button calculate. Okay, so we have to key in the whole row one by one. If we substitute 0, automatic we will have 0. If we substitute 1 over 3, I'm sure we will have 1. If we substitute 3, okay, substitute 3, we will have negative 1. And you have to repeat the process one by one. Okay, one by one. So again, calculate negative 1. So you have 1 over 3. And then substitute 1, you will have negative 1 over 3. And finally you will have a 0. Okay, so that is the way how we find the value for the row 2. I'm going to discuss the step number 5. So which I'm going to change the row 1 become 0, okay, for the column 2. And at the same time, step number 5 as well, for the column 2, row 3, I'm going to convert the 3 become 0 by using the third rules, adding one row with k times of another row. So my focus will be R1. Okay, so do remember in second column you have to refer to R2. So now our R1 is 1. Okay, so we have to minus R2 become 0. Another formula will be R3. Again, we must relate to R2. So in here, our row 2, row 3, column 2, 3, right? So we have to minus the 3 so that it becomes 0. So the formula will be negative 3. So we can have it at the same time. So do remember, with the help of calculator, you can lighten the burden. So now I'm going to key in my data into the calculator. Okay, so first you have to key in R1, we let it as an X. Okay, minus Y. Y become our R2. So repeat the same thing. So for sure, here become 1, here become 0, and then these two automatic will become 0. So now we proceed with this one. Our R1 is negative. Okay, negative 1.5. Okay, so our R2 is negative 1. So you have your value negative 1 over 2. And then repeat the same thing. Calculate. Okay, for your R1. So your R1 is 0.5. Okay, your R2 is 1 over 3. So I have my value 1 over 6. So repeat the same thing as well for R1. So my R1 here is 0. My R2 here will be negative 1 over 3. So my answer will be 1 over 3. So the last one will be 0. So now I proceed with the third row. So I have to modify my formula. So in here, R3, I represent it as x minus 3. My R2 will be represented by y. Okay, so we are going to repeat the process. Calculate what is your R3. What is your R3? So in here, my R3 is negative 1.5. Okay, so what is your R2? It's negative 1. So the value will be 3 over 2. Again, we repeat. Calculate what is your R3? 1.5. Okay, so what is your R2? 1 over 3. So finally, you have your answer 1 over 2. Next, what is your R3? So in here, my R3 is equals to, so here my R3 is equals to 0 and my R2 is equals to 1 over 3. So I'll substitute 0 and then negative 1 over 3. So the value will be equals to 1. So finally, the last one, what is your R3? 1. What is your R2? 0. So my answer will be equals to 1. Okay, so I have done for the first row and third row for the second column. So now our target is to convert the A33, so which is my step number 6, A33 from 3 over 2 to become 1. So now my focus is to convert the thing become 1. So as usual, row 1 and row 2 won't change, so I'm just copy. Okay, so now my focus is row 3. So row 3, I'm going to use the second formula, multiply one row by a non-zero scalar k. So what is my k? So based on this part, the value is 3 over 2. So my k will be 2 over 3. Okay, so my answer will be 0, 0, and 1. Okay, so here will be 1 over 3, here will be 2 over 3, and here will be 2 over 3. So that is how I get the row 3 done. So now the following step is step number 7, which I'm going to focus on the column 3, the step number 7, which is row 1. I'm going to change it become 0, and at the same time as well, I'm going to change for the column 3, row 2, negative 1 become 0 as well. So now what is the formula? So before I create the formula, so what I have to do is to copy down the row 3, which I'm not going to change anything. Okay, so now I'm going to create the formula. So my focus is the column 3, row number 1. So the name will be R1. Okay, so in the column 3, we must try to relate. Okay, relate the value in column 3, row 3. So I'm going to use the third rows, adding one row with k times of another row. So my formula would be plus 1 over 2. Now my focus is row 2 and I'm going to relate to row 3. So for the row 2, column 3, the value is -1. So in here I'm going to plus 1. Okay, so now we are moving forward to the calculator. So we are going to use the calculator to help us to solve the problems. So now I'm going to key in for R1, which is equals to x plus 0.5y. Y will be R3. So the value will be 1, 0. Okay, here also 0. So now I'm going to focus, calculate what is the value for R1, 1 over 6. Okay, so what is the value for R3? It will be 1 over 3. So the answer will be 1 over 3. Next, we have 1 over 3 for R1. And then we have 2 over 3 for R3. So my answer will be 2 over 3. Proceed. My R1 will be 0. Okay, stated in here, 0. And then my row 3 will be 2 over 3. Okay, so my answer will be 1 over 3. Next, I'm going to focus the second row, okay, with this formula. So I'm going to change my formula. So alpha x, it will be my R2 plus alpha y, it will be my R3. So I'm going to repeat the same process. So here we have 0, 1 and 0. So what is my R2? My R2 is 1 over 3. So calculate 1 over 3. What is my R3? Also 1 over 3. So the answer will be 2 over 3. Okay, so next, my R2 is negative 1 over 3. Okay, my R3 will be 2 over 3. So my answer will be 1 over 3. Next will be R2. What is my R2? My R2 is equals to 0. So I'm going to substitute the value 0 and then press the equal button. And then after that, what is my R3? So my R3 is 2 over 3. So here we are. We have our answer is 2 over 3. So now we already managed to convert everything, okay, become an identity matrix for the left hand side. So the product for the right hand side will be our P inverse, okay, which is, as I'm trying to write now, so this is our P inverse. So that is the whole process. I'm using the ERO to find my P inverse. So here we are, and thanks for watching.